My first day, I was handed a stack of files. Here,
Yeah.
get through these, come see me in a week. I'm like, a week? He just looked at me and goes, you feel like you got your face beaten with a baseball bat, don't you? And I said, yeah, that's probably an accurate description.
Do you know what the first rule of the passive-aggressive club is? Never mind, forget it, it's fine.
The #1 resource for damage identification books, trainings, and certifications is Hague Education. Not only that, but they provide building inspection and desk adjuster trainings and certifications for those as well. Get a discount on all books, tools, certifications, and other trainings with code AdjusterTV at checkout at hagueeducation.com.
You know, well, we all started somewhere, right? And so when I got in the field, I didn't know anything. It's not even my industry of choice. I had lots of construction background, but, you know, I didn't know anything and everything about pretty much anything. It was, you know, it was a new experience, and it came in time. And, you know, I didn't consider myself I still don't consider myself an expert. I know a lot of things about a lot of stuff to get me into a lot of trouble.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
But, you know, if I have to argue for an insured or a carrier, yeah, there are things I can logically go through and have a logic discussion with attorneys and with engineers or other industry professionals. Hey, this makes sense. What you're saying does not make sense, and give you the backup reasonings why. You know, and you know, it's all about having data, I guess, at that point. But it's something that comes in time, and you don't become an expert with it overnight.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No, I think that's good advice. Doug, how did you get started in claims? How did you hear about it? And what's your career journey been?
I have a longtime friend who I was in the video business back in the early 90s.
You owned a Blockbuster?
Yeah. Well, I was competing to being a Blockbuster, who's not in business anymore. But so
Doug's Video Emporium.
Yeah, no, it was called Video Advantage.
Okay.
Oh gosh, that's way back. And so this friend of mine was he had been an adjuster for State Farm and was actually a staff adjuster for a carrier in a local town that I was in. And we'd been friends. We did martial arts together. We hung out on the weekends. And he's like, man, you got all this free time. You should go try to do what I do. And he was getting ready to leave and become an independent. And that was during Hurricane Hugo. And so I said, you know, I'm not sure that's where I need to be.
Gosh,
and
Hugo.
so
What year was Hugo?
89.
89, okay.
And so I got married in 90. And so he approached me again in 91. He had decided to leave the carrier and went independent, and was like, man, you got all this free time, you should go, just come ride with me. And, you know, you're going to find it easy to get into. And so he talked me into it, and then, okay. And then I went and worked Hurricane Andrew. Andrew was I got licensed as adjuster, and went and worked Hurricane Andrew and had an abysmal experience, and it was terrible. And came home and thinking, you know, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Still own the video store and all this. And the same guy was like, you know, go take my old job at the old carrier. I'm like, I don't think they'll hire me. And he goes, no, they'll hire you. And okay, I'll go apply. And so I went in, and well, they hired me that day.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm meant to do this. So, you know, and so again, that was, you know, trial by fire. My first day, I was handed a stack of files. Here, get through these, come see me in a week. I'm like, a week? A week? I'm like, okay, yeah. And part of them were suit files. And so I'd been there for probably 3 days. I've literally had my butt handed to me, and this long-term manager comes over to me and he goes, how's it going? And I said, you know, he just looked at me and goes, you feel like you got your face beaten with a baseball bat, don't you? And I said, yeah, that's probably an accurate description. He goes, you know, that means you're doing okay. I'm like, pardon me? And he goes, look, the thing is, don't take it personally. You're just trying to get through it, and then look for some kind of commonality in how you can settle the file. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. He goes, try it again. And so it took me that stack of files took me about a month to get through, but I ended up selling them all. And it was, that was accomplishment. And then you're starting to get more claims, and you've been on the staff side too. So once you start getting one claim, you start getting a bunch, and you have this diary of, 75 to 100 claim files that you're always trying to wrap through. So I did that for 5 years. And, we did lots of hail losses. It was a Texas company, and I paid the IA bills. And so, from a staff guy to see what we're paying out the IA bills, I'm like, oh my gosh, I paid this much money for this. Work product was not great. These were handwritten files.
This is how much I make in a month.
Yeah. No, they were making in a couple of weeks what I made in a year.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, this is just not. And so I made the decision that I was I'm going to quit. I'll go and became an independent. And it was kind of a tough year. And then there was a hailstorm and a windstorm, and I made more money in that 6-week period than I'd made in the last 2 years. And so just as a staff adjuster, and so I was kind of hooked after that.
Oh, yeah.
And then started, it was a kind of an ending of a slow year. And then I started traveling with a company that I was affiliated with for a long time, IIS, and Cat Crew. And so got in the cat business, started traveling all over, and kind of the rest is history. So,
right. And so what are you doing today?
So now I own a company called Cat Crew, and Cat Crew has a unique agreement. It's a kind of a managed partnership between Cat Crew and Legion Claim Service out of Baton Rouge, and we own a company called CatPro. And CatPro is an insurance service group. We work claims, and we operate currently in 17 states, and we're expanding, and we have a great adjuster group that we've been affiliated with for a long time. And yes, we bring in new people all the time.
Like new people, or just people that are new?
No,
you.
So new to me, and so the way
can a newbie get on your?
So a newbie. Roster? So generally, if I want to bring a newbie in, I will hook one of the newbies up with some of my good experienced guys, and I make them ride along. And so I really won't give them files, but generally the ride along people, if they're out working, we'll actually pay them to be there. So it's not like they're going out and doing things for free.
Right.
But they learn the craft really well. And those guys, and they'll write up the files, they know what they're doing. And then the guys will call me and say, hey, this guy's sharp, he knows what he's doing, or he needs to bake a lot longer.
So you want to make the big bucks? You need mentors. Learn how to get one in this next video right here.